Well, good morning, Cam.
Good morning, Mitch. How are you, sir?
I'm doing all right. Realizing that I probably shouldn't say good morning to start our episode, even though it's morning for us, it might not be morning for everybody. So good
Well,
morning,
you're
afternoon, evening, overnight, wherever you're listening.
good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Yes. Thank you, Truman.
So I had a problem that I was trying to solve over this last week, and I found a nice solution for it. I'm going to be starting school in a couple of weeks. Not like school,
Mhm.
but I'm studying, doing training for a certification. Is essentially what
You
it
going
is.
back to school like Billy Madison?
Yeah, something like that. Probably more like Ernest. Was there ever an Ernest goes to school? I don't know.
I don't know, but how those were ever a thing is beyond me, but good for
Yeah.
him.
Hey,
Like,
it's a
okay.
Jim Carrey of the '80s, I guess. I don't know. I wanted to try and manage all the schoolwork that we needed to do because there's a lot of reading involved, and there's a couple of papers that I'm gonna have to write and stuff like that. So I'm trying to figure out a system, and I really like Gantt charts for that. Like timeline charts, so you can see visually. Here's your weeks or your days and stuff that needs to be done within this time period and stuff like that. I thrive on that kind of organization.
So did you spend hundreds of dollars on Omni Planner?
So here's the thing. I decided to try OmniPlanner. Although probably the perfect tool for what I needed to do because it's available for the Mac, it's available for iPad, iPhone. It has all the functionality that I want. It also has a whole lot more functionality and is actually rather complicated.
It's a beast.
Newsflash, Omni Group
Yeah.
makes complicated software. But when it came right down to it, the payment structure that they have is you can do the pro version only as a subscription for $19 a month, which to me, that's a lot of money, man. Considering that I've got other subscriptions and like there just wasn't a place to fit that in. So I looked at, well, what would it cost to just buy the software outright? Well, I can do the standard version, which of course, all of us geeks get FOMO. So you do the standard version and you're always going to wish you did the pro version. But by the way, the standard version isn't any less complicated. It just has features that aren't there. But that was $199 to do the standard version. And the pro version is $399.
It's $400.
$400 for the pro version. So now if I was, a project manager for a lucrative company, that kind of money might make sense. Totally doesn't make sense for me. I think actually for my Delighting Me section today, I'm going to talk about something that really delights me, but it's tied to this a little bit. But I discovered a program called Sheet Planner. Sheet, SHEET, just so you don't misunderstand what I said. And so matter of fact, it would be hilarious if it was the other way, but I wouldn't want to talk about it on the show. But Sheet Planner,
it's gonna get me every time. I'm such a child.
Once you hear it, you can't unhear it. But this application, actually what it does is it takes the simplicity of a simple spreadsheet program and turns it into a program where you can look at all your stuff as a Gantt chart. You can look at it in a calendar view, which I thought was kind of cool too. So I went through and I put all my stuff in and figured it all out, and it works brilliantly for what I want it for, and it's simple. So there's not a lot of complexity to it. The downside for me, and I really wanted it on my iPad and iPhone as well so that I could manage things, not available. So I can't do it on iPhone and iPad right now, but we'll work with it. I do keep my my laptop upstairs all the time, so it's a really cool little piece of software, and it solved a really interesting problem for me. And when we talk later about what's delighting us, I'll talk about how I got this program for free. But I didn't have to pay anything for this program, and free is always the best solution. So I like it.
All right. A little teaser for later.
Yeah. But anyway, we should do something we haven't done in a while and check on our annual Predicties. Which, by the way, those of you who haven't listened to the show in a while, this is our annual Predicties theme. All right, anyway. So
it's actually as the reigning benevolent predictator.
Yes,
that is
sir.
my national. That's my national anthem.
That's the national anthem of the benevolent predictator. Let's try that again.
Yes.
Should we stand?
Of course. All right. I feel honored.
So because we don't release video for this, we do have to explain that I stood. You did not, unless you're already standing.
I'm sitting on my throne.
Okay.
You were standing and recognizing.
Yep. And I saluted. I saluted you. So
I had my salute up too. My Benny Hill salute. You know.
So anyway,
see, you just gotta have fun with this stuff.
You gotta be silly. Silliness is very much encouraged.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna slide my chair right out of my desk area here so I can stand during the show here. All right. I'm not standing in reference to you at all. I'm just standing.
I'll take it.
It's comfortable. All right.
All right.
So let's
annual
review
predicties.
Our annual predicties. So there's a couple of them that we have already read it out because either the rumors that we have at this point are pretty much this is not happening this year, or it already hasn't happened this year. And you've already got 2 points on the board here for Universal Control finally ships, and the new Mac Pro is mentioned. So both of those things happened. Universal Control happened earlier this year, and I think the new Mac Pro was mentioned at WWDC, or was that at the March event? That was at the March event because you got points for it on the Predicties in March. So,
golly,
yep.
Well, that's annoying because I put 5 points for Universal Control finally shipping at the March event, and it didn't happen until after that. So it came true, but it cost me that event. I could be undefeated, Mitch.
Maybe. Yeah.
Anyways.
Well, until now, because I'm about to beat you.
Oh, oh really?
Laying this down.
He's attempting a coup. That's what's going on here. I see.
So just real quick, I'll run through mine. I predicted that there'd be more widget interaction this year, which did not happen. I still have on the board a new method for customizing the home screen, which I think you and I need to agree on whether or not the lock screen stuff, or whether or not is there other ways of doing the home screen, methods of customizing the home screen. Technically, you can customize the home screen through the lock screen, the new lock screen stuff in iOS 16.
I feel like we should set aside a future episode where we sit down and we actually go through these and determine, because what the heck does new method? Yeah, I don't even know what that means. Mitch.
Yeah. All right. Well,
because I also want to argue the one that you've haven't read for me there that says iOS 16 will include more shortcut actions, because I think that's true.
Okay. Well, anyway, we will adjudicate that on a future episode. So, exactly. I also have in here that an iPhone will come in orange. Maybe not called orange.
Because of course it'd be like cosmics, whatever. You know? And you're like, no, that's just orange.
I think on that episode you referred to burnt umber.
Yes, exactly.
But anyway, I do not see this happening, but we'll hold off judgment until next week on that one. Mac Pro ships this year. That's probably not going to happen. Still time, but I don't think I see it happening. I already took points away from myself for a new 27-inch iMac. Will be the iMac Pro. I think we'll probably still see that, but it's not going to come until next year. MacBook comes back, which that could still happen yet, possibly. I did put no watch redesign down, which I was going to put that in for my annual predictee or I'm sorry, not my annual predicting, one of my predictees for this event. But I really got to thinking whether, because I don't think the regular like 41 and 45 inch or 45 millimeter watches are going to get any kind of redesign, but there is a rumor of a pro watch that's coming. So I don't know if that would be considered a redesign or not. So, but anyway, new AirPods Pro with lossless audio. I feel like that's a bit of a stretch, but it could happen. AirPods Max update. New iMac Pro will come in a variety of colors. Again, I don't think we're going to see an iMac Pro this year, but we'll see. Do you want to run through yours real quick?
Yeah. So for my iPhone, iPad, and their operating systems picks, I did iPhone Pro will come with a mini option, which, boy, I think we're going to find out in 4 days. That's not true.
Nope.
iOS 16 will include more shortcut actions for Apple's apps, such as notes, reminders, calendar, etc. What you have currently is false, and I think there's new reminders actions, but I need to verify that.
Yeah, verify that, and we'll put it in there if it's. I'll give you a green box there if it's true.
iPad Pro with M1 Pro and Max chipset options. Boy, that would be fun.
That is a long shot, though.
Well, we'll see.
Might not have been back in January, but I think it is now.
Fair. We'll see. My Mac predictions were iMac with M1 Pro and Max chipset options. Universal Control finally ships, which is true, and the new Mac Pro mentioned, which is also true. For wearables, I had the AR MR headset announced, but doesn't ship in 2022. And then in parentheses, I put consumer model won't ship, which means if they have a developer option, I still get the point. We'll see about that.
I don't think we're even going to hear about it until next year.
Well, there is that mythical October event that happens every once in a while.
Yeah. Well, there could be one more thing on Wednesday as well, so we'll see.
Yeah. Also for wearables, no AirPods Max update and thinner Apple Watch. And then my moonshot was if they ship an iPad with M1 Pro or Max, they better also ship Logic or Final Cut for iOS.
Yep, that's looking less and less likely.
Yeah, I know. All right. So those are the annual predictees.
Yep. So currently, without giving you the point for that second one that you mentioned, the iOS 16 will include more shortcuts for notes, reminders, calendar, which it's probably a good chance that you probably get the points for that. Right now, I have 0 points, and you have 2, possibly 3 points. So that frames us for where we're going to go next, and that is the September iPhone event predictees. So are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Do you have a list?
I do.
All right. All right. So the way we're going to do this is going to be similar to the way that we've done the last few. I have 3 iPhone predictions in the spreadsheet, 3 Apple Watch predictions each, 3 wild card predictions. So these could be anything else. It could be related to the iPhone or Apple Watch if we want to. But it could be anything else that we think we might see at this event. There's the Buck wild card prediction. So this is going to be the long shot. Maybe it's stagecraft. Maybe it's something somebody's wearing. Maybe it's just something we think is a long shot and it's kind of funny and fun. But
Tim Cook will say customer sat 7 times. Exactly.
Exactly. So that's our Buck wild pick. And then I've got annual predictees pick. So the way this one works, all the rest of them will be worth 1 point. The annual predictees pick, we wager up to 3 points on this pick. And this must be one of the picks that we have in our annual predictees that we're guessing is going to happen in this event. So clear as mud.
Got it.
Let's all right. Rock. Excellent. So how do we want to do this? So you're the benevolent predictator, and does the loser start or the winner start?
Well, I think since I am benevolent, I will let you go first.
Okay, very good. So for the iPhone, first pick, I am going to go with, I think, what's a pretty safe bet here, and that the new iPhone 14, one of the iPhone 14s, I'm thinking probably the Pro, will have an always-on display.
Crap.
So that is the I'm thinking it's probably going to be the iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max, but I'm going to say that at least one of the iPhones has an always-on display.
I knew this was going to happen. All right. All right. So you've taken always on display. I suppose that means that I'm going to go with one of the models will have no notch.
Okay, can we define that a little bit more? Because are you saying that we'll have a pill in a punch hole, or? Because I think that's a safe bet. No notch is official.
I mean, yeah, well, obviously, like there still has to be a hole for the camera, right? But it's not going to be a notch.
Yeah, it's not going to come down from the top and swoop down. It's going to be
Correct.
actually in the display.
That's my guess.
All right.
You feel how confident I am in that one?
It's been heavily rumored, so I think you've got a shot at getting that one.
Yeah, but so was AirPower, and that never happened. So,
well, they announced it at least.
I was going to say. So there is precedent for,
I'm going to say that two of the colors that will be available for the iPhone. So I'm speaking the iPhone 14 or the iPhone Pro, but the two darkest colors we're going to have are going to be Midnight and Graphite. Those are the names that they're going to use. So we're going to have, my guess, and this is not the official pick, but my guess is that the Midnight phone will come as the iPhone 14, and the Graphite will come as the Pro version. So, but the iPhone will come in Midnight and Graphite. That won't be the only colors, but they will come. But these will be two of the colors that they use. So
that is specific. All right, for my second pick, I decree that there will be improved portrait or cinema modes on the Pro phones.
All right.
They shall make it so.
Improved portrait or cinema mode on the Pro phones. Both of them, or one or the other?
Or so one. I mean, it could be both, but
you're not committing to both.
I'm saying or.
All right.
Very, very, very specifically or.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go with the sketchy rumor, but this is where I get to be this is where I get to be the passionate one. So if you don't listen to Connected, you don't get the joke. I'm gonna go with the iPhone will have satellite connectivity.
What?
This is a rumor that's been out there. And it's not like the iPhone's going to suddenly be a satellite phone, but it will be for when if somebody's out in the wilderness and doesn't have satellite connectivity, they can, use like an SOS feature if they're in trouble, or possibly be able to send like a text message, something that's very low data. But you're not going to be calling people over the satellite network to have conversations and looking at Instagram posts or anything like that. But the rumor is that the only thing that's held that up over the last couple of years, and that possibly the iPhone 12 and 13 has the capability of doing this already, but they haven't had a partner to work with. They haven't been able to put a deal together to make this happen. The rumor is right now the deal is in place, I think with Global Star, and that they're going to introduce this on Wednesday. So,
all right. Well, there you go. Now I'm having to punt here because you took my first pick.
all right.
Which
this is why you need to have more than 3 picks.
I thought about it and I was like, it'll be more fun if I have to panic on the show. It'll be fine. I'm gonna say that the iPhones come in a new color. Now, what do I mean by new? Let me say this: come in a color not seen since you're going crazy with satellite. Is that fair? Since the iPhone 10. So it has to be a color that wasn't available for the 10, the 12, or the 13.
The 10, 11, 12, or the 13.
Oh yeah, the 11.
Just to make
they skipped
sure.
9. 9's the one they. Well, 9's the one I forgot which one they skipped.
Here's where I need some clarification on this pick. So the rumor is that they're going to have a purple phone, but they've had a purple phone.
Yeah, but what was the purple phone? What year is that?
I think there's one currently. I think there's a 13 that's purple, isn't there?
Oh yeah, that was the one they released after the first year.
I think actually, there
was it.
Yeah,
the 12?
it was it was a mid-year release, I think. The 12 had a purple, I think, or the 11 did.
One was purple and one was blue.
Mm-hmm.
The mid-cycle releases.
So you have you have a green phone, you have a blue phone, you have a purple phone. The rumor right now is that there's going to be like this weird, interesting purple in a Pro phone. That is a phone that hasn't existed yet. So that would be something that I think we would have to argue whether or not that counts, because the purple we haven't seen a Pro purple phone. So I might be willing to give you that one.
Well, I'm going to keep my mouth shut until afterwards.
Okay.
We'll have the debate then.
All right. So Apple Watch predictions. Let's see what I want to go with first here. Probably because I mentioned it earlier, and I should get it. I get it before you get it, because I'm not sure that you're going to. Some of these, there's 2 here that I definitely want to get here, because I think that they're shoe-ins, and it depends on which one that I'm going to say. So I'm going to go with a new larger Apple Watch. There's been some debate over what the name of it's going to be. I think Pro is the leading candidate for it's going to be the Apple Watch Pro. There's some people that think they'll stick with the Apple Watch Edition, but the idea is that it's going to be a tougher, more rugged phone for it's like adventuring and stuff like that. They could call it the Apple Watch Adventure Edition. I don't know, but there's going to be a new, larger Apple Watch.
Larger in what regard? Screen size, overall
screen size is
volume.
The screen size is what they're predicting. That I think the last predictions I said the largest one right now is a 45 millimeter. I think there was a prediction that it would be a 47 millimeter.
Wow, 2 whole millimeters. So much more room for activities.
It makes a difference, man. When I went from a 42 millimeter to a 45 millimeter, it changed the game, man.
Yeah, but that's 3. That's 50% more millimeters.
Yeah, whatever, man. What's your pick? Just move on, all right?
All right. I'm going to say that the new model that you mentioned offers longer battery life.
I think that's a solid pick.
I had to rearrange the order of my picks because I'm trying to.
Well, this means that I'm going to get the 2 that I wanted. So I believe that there is going to be a new temperature sensor in the Apple Watch. So here's the thing about this, and I want to be clear that temperature sensor does not mean that it's going to tell you exactly what your temperature is, but will be able to tell you, well, it doesn't necessarily mean that, but it will tell you if there's variations in your temperature that you should be concerned about. So if you start getting a fever and it notices that your temperature is much higher than it normally is, it can alert you of that and those sorts of things. But a lot of the tech that's out there right now is not showing exact body temperature, because to take back exact body temperature from your skin is not the same as if you take it from your mouth or other places that they normally take the temperature measurement from. And I wasn't thinking about that one, but after you laughed, I was like, oh yeah, he thought about that one. But it will be able to tell if there's
sheet planner.
If there's variations. So temperature sensor in the new Apple Watch.
All right, so here's where I have a question. Because my next pick was new sensors for health tracking. So could my second pick be new sensors for health tracking that are not temperature related? Because you picked a specific type of sensor. I'm just saying there's new ones, but I will exclude the temperature sensor since you made the pick. So if a temperature sensor shows up and nothing else shows up, you get the point, and I don't. If temperature sensor shows up and something else, we both get the point.
Like a blood glucose sensor, then
they put new versions of the upgraded blood oxygen sensor. So where do we stand on that?
So I'm willing to concede a new temperature sensor, or I'm sorry, a new sensor that is not temperature. So
okay, great, perfect.
That way we're differentiated enough. Although I'm going to tell you right now, I'm the one with the passion here because I'm being specific. All right. Well, that means that it's my turn now. So, let's see. Trying to figure out if I'm going to go for the win here or if I'm going to go for a long shot. I think let's go for the win. I think there's going to be a new color of Apple Watch. Now there is a rumor, and this is something that I do need to say out loud. There is a rumor that there's going to be a new red. I think this is part of the spirit of this pick. It's something different. They've done the product red in the past. The rumor is that there's going to be a new red color. So maybe it's going to be a darker red. Maybe it's going to be a brighter, lighter red, but it won't be the product red. They may still have the product red available, but this red will be different. Or it could be another color that they haven't had on an Apple Watch before.
You should probably change it from no color to new color.
Oh, right. Yeah, new color. No color Apple Watch. We're going to have a clear Apple Watch. No. That would be cool, though.
All right. So my annual Predicties pick is Apple Watch related, and I would love to slot that in here, but I can't do that. So I'm going to punt, and I'm just going to say a updated digital crown that does something cool.
Okay. That seems very un-Apple-like, but
I don't know what else to guess. Like I said, the only other guess I would have, you took with the bigger screen size, and then the only other one I have is my annual Predicty. So I'm like, this is like way, way down the list.
Mm-hmm. All right. So that puts us into wild card picks, and let's see. I'm going to change this one just a little bit, but I'm going to say new or updated iPhone MagSafe accessory.
Apple made.
Correct.
Okay.
Updated.
All right. I am going to say new AirPods are announced.
All right. New AirPods. Are we including AirPods Pro, AirPods Max, or just regular AirPods?
Any of the above.
Any AirPods. So, okay.
So if the AirPods Max get updated, we both get a point.
All right. So I'm going to put in autumn watch bands.
How did I not? How did I not think of that
watch
for my
bands.
Apple Watch guess? This was new bands.
Because
that's dumb.
Because they tend to do new watch band colors. Now I don't know if they'll necessarily be announced in the keynote. But like they did in March, they released them on the website just after the keynote, and our 24-hour rule applies.
Yeah.
So autumn colored.
That. That's a 2-point swing, Mitch. Good for you. Well played. I'm gonna, since this is wild card picks, I'm gonna say someone who has never presented before does so at this event. Some fresh blood in the presentation.
Okay. I have one more here, and I'm not sure if I should use it, just because it seems like a pretty clear shot that this is not going to happen. I have
go for it.
I have
Do
no
it. I
AR,
highly encourage.
I have no AR headset as announced. So I'm pretty sure that this is kind of really a shoe in that it's not going to happen. Although once I put this in here, you know what's going to happen is that that's going to be the one more thing that they're going to just mention it, and then I'm going to get screwed out of this pick. But so no AR headset announced.
Well, you have led perfectly into my next wild card pick.
All right.
Apple teases another event or product launch coming soon.
All right. Fair enough. That could happen because there's probably going to be an iPad event and iPad and Mac event in October. So, but they have to tease it.
It also might also lead to my Buckwild pick. There's some synergy here, Mitch.
All right. Well, now we get into the Buckwild pick. So, I was really thinking about this, and I thought, well, what would be funny? And then there was a comment that was made on Upgrade about chip charts. And I thought, this is perfect. There's going to be a chip chart. So I'm putting in there a chip speed chart will be shown in the event. So a chip speed chart. Because you got to have a chart to tell people that the new chip in the iPhone Pro line is so much faster than the old one, and it beats out Android. So there has to be a chart. So that's what I'm going with.
Drum roll, please. Updates to tvOS are announced. That is my Buck wild card pick.
So I'm going to tell you, I don't think that's a long shot. I think that the reason we didn't see anything at WWDC is they're holding on to something for new hardware. But whether or not it's going to be in this event or the next event,
or that's why my pick before this was Apple teases another event or product launch coming soon. So if it doesn't happen here, I'm hoping they'll say, "Oh, haha, come," Yeah, so I'm trying to cover my bases there.
They've been oddly quiet about the Apple TV for a while. So
I have waxed on and on about what I want tvOS. So I'm hoping it either happens here or it happens in October.
All right. All right. For our annual Predicties pick, I am very not confident about this pick. So I am only wagering 1 point, and that is that the AirPods Max will be updated.
Oh man, this wagering business. My my annual Predicties pick from that list is that there will be a thinner Apple Watch. And I don't know, Mitch.
How many points do you wager?
Whoops. I'm just gonna be a chicken and just do one because I'm
I was gonna
much
say
more.
It's on brand for you to do 3 and then lose 3 points. So
No, it's if this was a bigger Apple Watch, I'd bet all the points.
Yeah.
But thinner, yeah, not so sure.
I don't know. There's been no rumors about any case changes to the current Apple Watch. So the only way I think you get this is if the Pro version of the watch is smaller or is thinner. But even then, I'm not sure I see that.
Well, but and I think the only way that happens is if they do make it bigger, like 47 or 48, you can actually go a little thinner and still have a bigger battery because you're gaining,
But at the same time, the part of the story of this watch has to be the
right
batteries.
is that the battery would be longer, so why make it thinner, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to make a case for what could happen, but probably won't.
If it's like point something millimeters thinner, I think you get this point. So,
well, yeah, duh. But I'm not as confident in that one as.
But I'm pretty sure that we're going to have to go into the specs pages to figure that out because that's not going to be something they're probably going to announce. So,
yeah.
But we'll adjudicate that on the next episode. And you good with this? Anything we need clarification on, or?
Oh boy. I have a question on my first pick, the no notch. If the Pro models have no notch, but the regular models do I still get that?
I think there's still some wiggle room for you to clarify your pick. So if you want to say no notch on Pro phones, I support that.
All right, I'll do it.
Because again, that's been the rumor. So I think that's and if they do it on both, you still get the point. So.
Updated digital crown. What? And then watch bands is sitting there, and that's gonna. If I lose by a point, I'm gonna be so mad.
I think you're going to lose by more than a point.
Oh, Mitch has got jokes. Mitch has got okay. I see.
Yep.
All right. Well,
get ready to hand your title over.
All right, let's do it.
All right, it's locked in. All right. Well, we will see what happens on Wednesday. And when we get off the air, I need to talk to you about when we're going to record the next episode because I'm going to be out of town in 2 weeks. So maybe my proposal is that we record next Saturday. Are you available?
Not in the morning.
Okay. Well, we'll figure something out. We'll talk. All right. So we've got one more thing we need to get into before we wrap up the show today. All right. Well, what's delighting you today, Cam?
Oh, I don't know.
Did you come to the show unprepared today?
I didn't. I don't know what's delighting me, Mitch.
Honestly, I've been thinking about this question for like 3 days, and I just came up with something this morning, and it's kind of a. You did mention something before we went on the air this morning.
Oh, it is football season again.
Yeah,
this is true, and the European soccer season as well.
Yeah,
and my favorite team, Arsenal, is in first place in the Premier League. They are full points. They've won every single game thus far and have looked very, very good, and that's very exciting. But they also haven't played anyone terribly good. So that's fun. Actually, the University of Michigan game starts in 5 minutes, and I'm pumped, man.
Yeah.
Defending Big Ten champions got whooped by Georgia in our first appearance in the college playoff. But to be fair, that was an NFL team. So and they won the national championship. So if you're gonna get your butt kicked, you might as well get it kicked by a team that's that good. But we whooped Ohio State. We destroyed Iowa in the Big Ten. I mean, it wasn't even fair, that game, how bad we beat them. And then to have the next game, us get just wiped off the field it just shows you the difference, right, between this different tiers of college football teams. But yeah, I don't think we're going to win the Big Ten again this year. I think Ohio State probably will, which is no fun, but a new season brings new optimism. I'm even optimistic that the Lions might win like 6 or 7 games.
Wow, that's really optimistic. I was going to say like 3, but
no, they won 3 last year. They're a lot better now than they were last year. That's for certain.
Yeah,
that doesn't mean it's going to translate into more. But the Lions also lost a bunch of really close games last year, like 1 possession games. So who knows? But like I said, new seasons across the board, optimism abounds. It's exciting, and one of the reasons I like football, especially college football, is that you only get 12 regular season games. And then if you're lucky, you get 1 or 2 extra at the end. Like it's such a finite number of games. Like every game matters, unlike some other sports where you play 80 to 160 games, where it's like, this one really doesn't matter too much in the grand scheme of things. So I like that it's short. It makes it more fun.
Cool.
That's where I'm at. What about you, sir? Tell me about your Gantt charts.
As I was looking for software for this particular need that I have, one of the things that I really appreciated having access to was SetApp. So I don't know if you subscribe to SetApp, but to be able to subscribe and have 200 some applications that I can download and try and find what I need, what I really want and need. And a sheet planner was on the on SetApp. And so, which is the reason why I tried it. And it was actually ended up being a solution that I needed, and there's other stuff like screens that is part of SetApp. And I don't know, what all do I use from SetApp? I know that the software that I use, Clean My Mac X, is on SetApp.
That's worth a subscription in and of itself.
That's an awesome program.
It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good.
Clean Shot X, that I know Mike Hurley talks about a lot. That's on there. I've used a program called Unite for creating application shortcuts, essentially, for websites. That's on there. What else do I use? I know there's other apps that I use pretty regularly that are all stuff I downloaded from SetApp. iStat Menu is on SetApp. Bartender is on SetApp.
Can we just, for a second, though, agree that SetApp is a stupid name for this?
Well, names are hard. So, Better Touch Tool is on SetApp.
Like, I get it. It's a set of apps, but like, man, it's just a rough name.
Yeah, maybe not the best name in the world, but great service. And they do also offer the ability to do iPhone apps. They've got some iPhone apps. They've got some apps that actually have iPhone components to their apps that you can get. I'm looking at, like, there's an app called Pile that is for...
Oh, DropShare's on here?
Yeah.
To do Ulysses is part of this.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yep.
MindNote is in here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's some pretty decent apps in here.
There's some really good apps that are all part of SetApp.
Some of
So,
these I've never heard of.
oh no, there's plenty of them that are in here that aren't huge apps, but they're just like little um
Utility stuff. There's like
yeah.
money finance trackers.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. What's the monthly subscription for this?
So there's a different subscription tiers based on your needs. I go with the full $14.99 version because it gives me multiple. I think I can do up to 5 computers, and also the iPhone apps, iPhone and iPad apps, which like for $9.99, I think you're limited to one Mac that you can install this stuff on, which the way I work, at least I've got 2 Macs that I use regularly, plus I've got Macs at the church that I use. So to have access to this on 3 or 4 different Macs, it works really well for me. So I need the $14.99 subscription if I'm going to use it.
Man, there's so much in here.
Mm-hmm.
Like Disc Drill and Bartender. What was the other one? Downey's in here.
Downey's a great app. I like Downey.
Yeah, it sure is. And I just purchased Disc Drill for $100 the other day because I lost 60 to 70% of a wedding that I shot. And Disc Drill couldn't find it. And thank God that my monitor is a backup recorder, because otherwise I would have lost all the footage and it would have been an absolute disaster.
Mm-hmm.
So wasted $100 on Disc Drill, but here's your PSA: always have a backup recording of everything.
Yeah.
And I had forgotten, not to totally derail this, but I had forgotten that my video monitor also is a backup recorder. Like it has a terabyte SSD in it, and I had set it up to be a backup recorder like a year and a half ago, but it never needed the backup files because my SD cards were always fine.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like after 3 hours of trying to recover data from my hard drive, from my external SSD, from the SD card, all of which failed, because my computer I was transferring the files from the SD card to the external hard drive, and midway through the transfer, my computer just broke. It was like there was an error, and then the files were just gone.
That sucks.
So, well, but like I said, always have a backup recording. Always, 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 always. Especially when it's someone's wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Because guess what? You don't get to reshoot.
This is very true.
All right. This trip down set apps list. Like there's literally like over 100 apps in here, Mitch. This is crazy. I didn't realize it was this big.
So I just got a text message from my wife. You introduced me to Shane and Shane.
Yes.
Great worship music.
Yes.
My wife just texted me, thank Cam for introducing us to Shane and Shane, because apparently she's listening to it at work and is loving it. So,
well, you were most welcome.
Yep. And now she'll hear it on the show and know that I passed it on.
There you go. Very good.
All right.
Sorry, I kind of derailed it there, but you can tell that was still fresh in my brain. I saw Distro and I was like, trauma.
So you spent $100 on Distro, and that's
because that's how much it costs. Yeah, I didn't even think to look, but I was in full on panic mode. I was like, I don't care, spend the money. I have to get this footage back.
Yeah. So no, I've really been loving SetApp, because even if it's not the perfect solution for what I need, it's a good solution. Because too often times, you can find a solution for it that's going to cost you a couple $100. But to find a small app that just does that little thing that you need, is good. Like I think that definitely is cool. And there's all kinds of little apps in here for that are like single purpose apps. I just ran across one called Haze Over that is for dimming the background to help focus. So you can literally just use a trackpad to dim the background behind the focus window to help focus on the window that you're in. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and of course, Gemini is in here too. So anybody that's looking to get rid of duplicates and stuff like that, and like say in their photo library or something like that, that's in here.
Yeah, that's really helpful too.
I've used Forklift before, and I've really liked it. Forklift is kind of a Finder replacement in a sense, but it's much easier to use for doing like two-pane, like side-by-side two-pane folder management. So you literally can open up one folder. You can open up a folder on, say, a Synology or on an external drive and just transfer your files across using drag and drop.
Mm-hmm.
That's primarily how I've used it. Yeah, so there's just a lot of, I mean, I could spend all day just like downloading apps. I mean, there's some VNC clients on here. So if, I don't know, I would have to look into the VNC clients specifically to see if they're any good, but they're here. Oh, and Noisyo's on here too. Do you know Noisyo?
I do not.
So what Noisyo is it's Noizio, is like a white noise application. But what makes this one different is it gives you a whole bunch of different noises that you can play, but then it lets you mix them at different volumes. So it acts as kind of like a mixer. So if you want to have some rain, but you want a little thunder in there, but you don't want the thunder to be as loud, so you can kind of turn down the thunder a little bit so it sounds maybe like it's a little more off in the distance, and it's not like right on you. If you want a little campfire burning with another sound, like it gives you the ability to mix a whole bunch of these, and then you can save them out as presets so that you can go through and just click a play button and it plays the sound. So, matter of fact, I'm going to install this because I didn't realize this was on here. So I like that app a lot. I've used it before. But yeah, so there's just, you can really go down a rabbit hole with SetApp. There's a lot of cool stuff in here. But yeah, so very cool.
Indeed.
I realized that as we got into the beta season, maybe this is something we'll do next year. We're going to go on Rogue Amoeba Watch. Because they've been so aggressive about saying that this app does not work with the new Mac OS, that we would just go through and like each time we record, we would report on whether or not Audio Hijack works with the new Mac OS. Does it work?
Still no.
Not yet. Nope. So. All right. Well, we can probably wrap things up. You got anything else for us today, Cam?
That's a negative, Ghost Rider.
All right. Well, if you don't want to check out more about the show, about us, you can certainly hit us up on our website at innerdialogue.show. That will have the full back catalog of our podcast. Of course, there'll be links there for you to subscribe on your favorite podcast player. And if you want to know more about me, you can check me out at mitchcraig.online.
And you can find me at wikipedia.org/Edward Snowden. I don't know. I just went for something different. No, CamBrennan.com. Indeed. That's where my stuff is.
All right. Well, sir, if we do end up recording early, because I'm going to be out of town in a couple weeks, I might even release the episode early. So just so that it's in your hands and able to be listened to in a more timely manner, since we'll be reviewing the results of our predictees. So be looking for that possibly next week. So, Cam, it's been a good time.
Indeed.
And I am looking forward to beating the crap out of you in the predictees this time. And
oh, man, Mitch,
it's going to be good.
Pride comes before the she bears, dude.
No, it ain't pride. It's just the truth, man. All right. Well, you have a good week, man.
You too.
Later.
Bye.